Let me count our blessings. This is my lucky day because it's the first chance I have to drive the new Corvette extensively on public roads. This is your lucky day because you get to come along for the ride. So let's saddle up. This is actually our first public road drive in the new Corvette. I'm in a Z51 stick shift pre-production car. So let's fire it up and see what it sounds like. So one of the new features is a 5-position driver mode select on the center console. The 5 modes are weather for inclement weather, eco for maximum efficiency when you're on a trip, tour for normal driving, that's the default mode, sport, which everyone of course will use, and track for when you're on a racetrack or you want to go for broke. I'm going to change it to eco, so in our first drive we can see if the engine will shut down to 4 cylinders for maximum efficiency. I don't really feel anything yet. The possibility of 4-cylinder operation starts in 4th gear. Pretty sure that just went to 4 cylinders. We're at 42 miles an hour, very light throttle, 4th gear. Let's try 5th gear. Okay, this is about 1500 RPM, nearly 50 miles an hour. All right, let's try 7th. That's a super tall ratio. Almost no throttle required. We're at 60 miles an hour. About 1250 RPM. Nice and smooth. I feel sort of a subtle rumble, which I suspect is the V4 mode, but if you're going on a trip, you could run like this all day, no problem. The new structure really improves ride, handling, quietness. It helps allow engineers to tune the dampers for an optimum ride. It even helps quietness in the interior. We're not feeling any creaking or anything. The steering isn't jumping around in your hands over these bumps. I wouldn't drive like this except for experimentation, but I suspect a lot of customers will. We tried Eco, very interesting. It certainly works. It's quite palatable, smooth. Now we're going to go to Sport, which is not the default mode, that's Tour, but it's 1 notch up from Tour, and I think that's where a lot of people will drive. So you just turn this. We're not going to get Eco now. There's no 4-cylinder in this mode. So here we go. As you can hear, a little throatier note to the exhaust. I'm not using all the revs, but I am using rev matching, which makes those upshifts very low effort, very easy. The dampers have shifted to a more aggressive, tighter setting, so you feel more bumps, but the structure's doing a great job. I wouldn't call it plush, but it's one of the nicer feeling sports cars, I think. You can hear tread noise. I mean, these are very thin body panels. There's not a lot of sound deadening or damping for weight reasons. Just went over a hump bridge. Excellent control, practically no body movement vertically. Dampers are working very nicely. So I'm going to put it shift from 4th to 7th just to show you how the noise drops. We're still in Sport, but very low RPM with 8 cylinders. Good cruising efficiency, no real engine noise. Plenty of body motion control, wheel control. Almost no body roll is evident whatsoever. I don't get a lot of feedback from the road through the steering, but the quickness and the ratio is excellent. Linearity is good, and the effort build is exactly where I would put it. I think they did an excellent job with this electrically assisted power steering. We've got a straight section here, so we'll try a little run down the hill up through the gears. It's quick. Love the engine sound. Makes 460 horsepower, peaking at 6,000 RPM and 465 pound-feet. It's up in the lower RPM about 50 pound-feet, but overall it's about a 6% gain, attributable to not only direct fuel injection for the first time ever, but variable valve timing, a whole new combustion system, which means very carefully engineered combustion chamber, top of piston, the ports are all redone. There's almost nothing carried over in LT1 except the basic architecture and the fact that it has 8 cylinders in a V and a push rod valve train, but everything else is new. Anybody who gripes about push rods, they're running out of ammunition now. This is the ultimate push rod engine. There aren't many Porsches that can run with this, and certainly none that have a base price of $52,000. Okay, we're not on a racetrack, but just for study purposes, I shifted it to track mode. You can engage different traction control systems, different modes there. So we'll shift that to race and just see what it sounds like and feels like. Notice the exhaust. This is the loudest, lowest restriction exhaust mode there is. The real beauty in the stride ahead is the collaboration that exists in C7. The electronic limited slip differential especially. Now it can vary according to tire temperature, the settings for the mode selector, and a bunch of other variables to give you the maximum, to give you all there is to get, to use all the adhesion, help you and protect you on the racetrack and give you a quick lap time. GM did a lot of testing at VIR, or lightning lap location. When I did run it on the track at Milford Road Course at GM Proving Grounds, I found it very forgiving. You could drive right up to the very high limits and bring it back. There's nothing there to bite you. In essence, this is clearly the most sophisticated Corvette ever. The most highly developed. Engineers use the term integration. What that means is this system talks to that system. They're on the same wavelength. They help each other, and they work together to make the car more easily drivable, more easily enjoyable, safer, quicker. No other Corvettes had that in the past to this level, and that's really the stride ahead. Now that we've done some test driving, we're looking ahead to the next step with the C7 Corvette. That would be a comparison test, of course, with production cars. That will happen soon. But in the meantime, I think customers and owners and Corvette fans have something they're truly going to admire. I've test driven a lot of Corvettes in my time. I participated in 4 out of the last 7 product launches. I raced a C4, I own a C2, but all things considered, this is the best Corvette yet. Thanks for coming along on the ride.